So today's topic, I wanted to get in a little bit and talk about money in a relationship. So let me ask you a question. You have said previously that you and Jenna have separate bank accounts. You guys pay for your own bills. Was that like a learned trait, or you just thought that that was the most responsible thing to do for you guys?
I probably a learned trait. It probably was, but I say 50-50, but you know what I mean, 100-100, but like completely equal down the middle. Like I don't believe in like somebody's got to do more than the other and all that stuff. So for me, 50-50 on bills makes sense, right? There's no bullshit there. There's no gray area. You take care of half of this, I take care of half of that. So but I did learn in my first marriage, we had jointed everything, and she had a money problem. So
Spending a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what's funny too? Because like I remember I told you guys she drugged me to a marriage counselor, right? She drugged me to several of them, in which they all sided with me, so that she fired each one of them for doing so. And you know, the first one we went to, immediately they said that she had a spending addiction.
Okay.
Lit on the first one.
And she thought that these therapists were going to side with her.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. And like, you know, she had a money problem, but like that all went to, and this would be a good topic to talk about too, just like how you form, like how you mature based on what you go through in your environment or your childhood. So when she was younger, her grandma, every time she was in a bad mood or she would cry or something like that, her grandma would take her to the store, buy her something.
Yeah.
Whatever she want. In the mall, go get whatever you want, would make her feel better. And that's what she learned. And obviously her love language is gifts because of that, right? And because of that, she ended up always wanting to spend money, always wanting to do stuff. So we were like, I'm not saying broke, but like bank account would always be on a thin. And then it got to the point towards the end of the relationship when we finally got a divorce, where I was in control of all the finances, even the money that she brought in, because she was depleting our accounts. So it got to the point where like all of a sudden she was trying to say I was controlling because I controlled all the money. But the only reason why I did is because we were almost broke because of her.
Because she was spending all the money.
Yeah, because she was spending all the money. So, you know, so I adopted with Jenna, like to go fit. And it's fine because like, here's the thing. She could buy whatever the fuck she wants to. It's her fucking money. I don't have any rights over her money. I don't want to see her money. She has Amazon boxes coming in constantly. I don't say nothing about it because it ain't my fucking money. So I don't care. As long as she takes care of her obligations, which is half the bills, I ain't got a word to say about it. And I know there's going to be many different opinions about that in the chat, and that's completely fine. But who am I to say about your money, the money you make and you earn? You spend it on whatever the fuck you want to. If you don't even want to do anything for your retirement, I don't give a fuck. I'm responsible for me. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
I think people who have a problem with that are the people looking to dip their hands in your cookie jar. Otherwise, why do you give a fuck? Why do you give a fuck? It's like, no, that we ain't doing that. We're going to have a joint account. All our money is going to be shared. Why? Because you want some of his or her money?
But you don't think that it's two parties growing something together? Like they're trying to grow whatever, their mini like home together. So in turns, it's like it is combined because you're doing it together. You don't think that that has anything to do with having a joint account?
What's the difference? If the mortgage is $600 and I'm paying $300, aren't I growing it? Aren't I sharing in that investment? If you buy a kitchen table and I go half on that kitchen table, aren't we buying that together? What's the difference?
But what if you don't want a kitchen table and she wants the kitchen table and you're like, no, I'm fine with the kitchen table that we have. And she's like, no, I want it to be new. It's time to get a new one. Like, how do you solve those fights?
There are situations where stuff like that comes up. So there has to be communication, which we've talked about 1,000 times. Like you got to have a communication. Why do you want the table? Why is it necessary? Well, how do you propose we do this? And yeah, there are some times where I'm like, so like we'll put our little one, for example. I help buy what's needed.
Okay.
Now, you ladies, moms, they want to go nuts. They want to go fucking crazy, and they want to buy. She wants to buy him 2 costumes. I said, no, Halloween's only one fucking day. I'm going to go half on one. If you want to buy him another costume, that's on you. So, like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to indulge in the things that, I'm not going to participate in the things that you want to indulge on. She wants to do that solely for herself.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not obligated to, so there has to be some reason in there. But again, it comes down to communication. I mean, she's like, okay, yeah, fine. I mean, if she wants to have fun with him and like dress him up like this, that, and the other, buy him 10 pairs of shoes when the first pair he has still works perfectly fine. That's completely on her. Like, I'm not here to play dress up. I'm here to make sure my kid's taken care of. You get what I'm saying?
But it makes her happy. It brings in a memory and it makes her happy, and she wants to do it with her, with your son, to have build these memories, and memories cost money sometimes.
I hear you. So go buy them. You know what makes me happy? A fresh pair of fucking Jordans. She ain't buying those for me.
Okay. So you're
it's the same fucking thing. No, it's the same thing.
So you're saying if she wants to make these memories with your child, you're willing to contribute to it at a certain limit. You're not willing to go be excessive. And so in my marriage, past tense, I had no control over the money. None. Zero. And I contributed to our household. I worked full time. I brought in a very good paycheck, and I was given an allowance on what I can spend money on. Yes. Go ahead.
Well, how did that happen though? Like, how did you guys get to that point though? You know what I mean?
So my ex-husband's number one love in life was his money. Like it was so important to him to have money. Now, he did something when he was young and dumb, and he ended up having to go to prison for 4 years. And so when he got out of prison, he was in this very big like rebuild stage of his life. And so he always felt like he was fighting with the weight of the world on his shoulders to prove that he was worth something. So he also knew that he had a felony record, and he was terrified that what he was making or what he was doing could be taken away from him in an instant. So he was always in rebuild mode. He was always in save mode, because he wanted to make sure in the event that happened that he would be okay, that we would be okay. And I knew that was something that was important to him. So I allowed it. I allowed him to be able to take care of the money. So he knew what was being paid in bills. So he knew what was going into savings. So he knew what he was giving for me, because we were in building mode. And we did. I mean, I bought my first house when I was 24 years old, and it was a hell of a deal, and we did a ton of renovations to it. He bought me a car on my 30th birthday, like literally went to the dealership and said, "That's your car, get it." And it was the nicest car that I could get there, and because we were constantly in this build save mode. So I don't want to say we never wanted for nothing, but we were very, very comfortable life. But we also had a ton in savings.
What model Rolls Royce did you get?
Not a Rolls Royce. I had a souped up, and I mean souped up, Ford Focus. And I love that motherfucker so. I love that motherfucker so much. It had the spoke wheels, and it was white. It was so nice. It was so nice. Her name was Miss Pearl. I miss her every day of my life.
A Focus?
Yeah.
So
what
happened to it?
It was like $32,000. Yeah.
Did you total it by racing when you were racing it?
No, it was during that whole, shut up, you're an asshole. It was, it was during that whole like recall that Ford was having, where they couldn't like fix like something in the vehicle. So it ended up being a lemon. And so I ended up getting everything that I paid into it, plus like pain and suffering back. They just wrote me a check.
What?
Yeah, they just wrote me a check. And
so
I got a Honda Accord, and she was really pretty too, but I totaled that one. I did total that one.
Why are you racing all these fucking?
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Okay.
Were you? So we didn't know this. So hot off the press, finds out Punk Trish was into the tuner race scene back in the day, racing GT Ford Focuses and Honda Accords V8.
That one was like that one I slammed into somebody. Like I'm the worst driver. If we're ever together, don't let me drive ever. Like I'm telling you right now. I've been in like 7 car accidents, and I think 3 of them were totaled. Like the car was totaled. And I was never under the influence or anything.
No, you know what? Yeah, listen, guys, never let her drive if she is with you.
Yeah.
100%.
Don't let me drive.
You totaled 3 fucking cars?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Hey, well, okay, so I was gonna empathize with you a little bit.
No, don't.
But now I see why your husband was in control of the money, because
I crashed a car. Get over it.
You crashed multiple cars and wasted tons of money.
No,
so
it's always worked
he had
out.
to get a grip of the money. No, fuck that. I get it now. No, now we get the other side of the story. Oh my God, dude.
No, here's the thing: is our insurance bill was not like crazy. I mean, it went up like $20 or $30, but it wasn't crazy, and it was always in our favor. Like it was all like whenever I got in a car accident, it was never my fault.
It doesn't matter. You still lost depreciation on the car. It doesn't matter.
No, the only car that I ever bought new was the Ford Focus.
And you got everything back on that one, but the other ones that you totaled, you didn't get.
No, I did, because I always bought used. Yes, I did. I did. Swear. Bible. Swear. Everything. And I remember having conversations with him, and he'd go, how do you have luck like this? Like the worst thing happens, and then you come up some way. And I'm like, I don't know. Like that is my luck. 1000%. Worst things happen, and then I come up from it. So, but I always got an allowance. That's just how he rolled. And
they're not going to write you a check for a car more than it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
They don't.
Listen,
they do not do that.
I had a Mazda 3, and I bought it, paid for the whole thing outright. Bought it for $19,700. And then I ended up doing some like mods to it. Like I put like a touch screen in it and all that stuff. So I maybe put like $1,000 more into it, because I went to the junkyard and had somebody do it for me. Because some of these cars are like in perfect condition. They're just in the junkyard. You could just pull what you want from it to make your car look nice. Anyways, and then I totaled that one, and they ended up giving me $19,800 for it. So I actually made $100. But yeah, listen, I have weird luck like that. But anyways, so he was in control of the money. I'd have to ask for permission to buy anything, anything.
We know why now.
Oh my God. And then
we fucking know why now.
There's a comment that says, better have a roll of bubble wrap if you riding with Trish. Yeah, no, seriously.
My God,
make sure like I have very good insurance. You're covered. If anything happens, like you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just letting you know. But yeah, that's happened. And so I remember like when we were having like our problems, remember his number one love is money. And we had a kid at this point, and he would make comments like, don't worry, like when this is over, I'll pay you off. Like I'll pay you off is what he would say. Like he was some big time stuff or whatever. And I would tell him, look, if we could both equally work on this marriage together, you won't have to pay anything. Like you'll be fine. And so when we ended up separating and getting a divorce, and then we had to go to arbitration and separate all of our funds and stuff like that, he was trying to like, oh, you can have this and I'll have this. And I'm like, no, everything's 50-50. Like, I don't want to do that. We're just doing 50-50. And oh my God. Yeah, that's California. 50-50. That's California. Everything is 50-50.
But you can choose not to do that though.
No, I invested 12 years of my life into that marriage, and I worked my ass off to make sure that we got to where we needed to be. I contributed just as much as, if not more, and sometimes I worked full time and I took care of our son. Absolutely.
Right. So you get half of the assets, but you feel like you need to get half of his money. Well,
we had everything joint. It's the way he wanted it. The way he wanted it.
So that's another good conversation.
50.
See, I don't agree with it. Even if I was with somebody that made more money than me, and we went through a divorce, I wouldn't want half their money.
No, I gave him half of mine. He gave me half of his. That's how the math works.
But that's not how it is though. If somebody's making more,
he was making more. But I came into the relationship with money. because I had
Okay,
money from a
but-
trust when my dad died. So I came in with money, and then I used that
so
money to help build our life together. Yes.
So my thing is, you get that back, and you keep your money, your finances. You came in with that, you leave with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
You get half of the assets, but I don't think you should get half of his investments, his retirement.
They were in
his
both of our names.
Money.
They were in both of our names.
Well, that's
so
his
are mine.
fault.
Mine were
That's
too.
his fault.
So like I remember him saying, because at one point we were like both pumping up like our retirements, and he said, look, like pause yours, just do the minimum, and then I'll just do mine, and we'll pump up mine because he got a better return with his company. And I said, okay, that's fine. So we were pumping the shit out of his retirement. So when we separated, he said, well, you just keep your retirement and then I'll keep mine. And I said, no, you get half of mine and I get half of yours. That's how it works. And he was adamant. And I said, and he had a very sizable retirement. And I said, okay, fine. Keep your retirement. I'll buy you out of the house. I keep the house. No, I want half the house. Okay, then we're back to square one. We sell the house, we split it, and we split our retirements. Like we went back and forth like no other.
Say that again about so you guys did what on the retire? So you paid into his retirement?
Yeah. So I had my retirement maxed out at 15% contribution. He had his maxed out also. And so he told me, back yours down. We'll put that into our stocks and bonds, our E-Trade account, so that we can invest that. So you're only doing the minimum of like 2%. I'll keep mine pumped up, and that will be our main retirement. So that's what we did.
So you paid into it.
Yes. Yes.
So you get that then. Yeah. So you get that. It makes sense. But like if we're married and I'm pumping my own money into my retirement and you're pumping your own money into your retirement, you don't get half my shit. Like that's why I have a prenup though when I get married.
Sure.
Like you're not getting half my shit. Like that's not how this works. Like when you contribute to the house, to the assets, to the cars or whatever, then yes, you get that. But in terms of like finances, like the things that you did not touch or had nothing to do with, you don't get to touch that. That's why I don't like marriages like that.
Sure.
But you already know that's why I'm not getting married unless I have a prenuptial agreement. So it doesn't matter. Like either sign the prenup or don't get married. I mean that's how I stand on it.
So what about in this situation where it's a mom who stays at home, she doesn't work, she doesn't contribute financially, but she contributes to the home. She's taking care of the home. She's taking care of the husband, but she doesn't have any money. She relies on her husband to give her money or whatever. And then they're married for 10 years. Husband cheats, or husband just says, "I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't want a divorce." So the mom has no retirement because her husband was working. She has no income because her husband was working. She has nowhere to live because her husband was paying the bills. What do you think happens in that situation?
So if I already know the answer to this because I've thought about it myself. So like if I was ever fortunate enough to be in a situation where I could take care of it, whatever my monthly income is, I give half of that to my wife. Mm-hmm. Now, at that point, just like I do, you have a decision to make with that money. Okay. So like we're still paying the bills. Mm-hmm. We're still doing all that. You could spend your money on whatever you want to. You need to be taking care of your IRAs and all that stuff. Otherwise, you won't have a fucking retirement. That's no different than when like you're working at a job, right? You determine how much percentage goes into your mutual funds. If you don't put any in there, you get none. So if I'm giving you half my income and with my half, I'm taking care of my side, you better be smart with your money. Because if you're not, you ain't going to have shit. So like, that's how I would take care of it. But again, even in that situation where like they're a stay-at-home mom and I'm the one working, they're still getting 50-50, right? I'm providing 50-50. Now it's your responsibility to make sure you're taken care of. If you don't, that's on you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I do agree with that. I do. So you're saying that in that event, if there was a stay-at-home mom, that you would help alleviate that. I would give
half my income to them because here's the thing. I know they're staying, but that's their job now. So I got to be paying for that. So like, I'm going to give them half of it. But again, because here's the thing. Yes, we got bills to pay. And that way I'm not paying the bills by myself still. You see what I'm saying? They're still contributing. It's my money, yes, but they're working. They're at home. They're taking care of their part of the agreement. So they're getting paid for that. They're allowing me to work, which brings in this sum of money. I'm going to give them half of that because they're contributing to that.
Sure.
So they got the half. Now we still come together on the bills. You take care of your fucking retirement, be a responsible adult, and then you still get to spend whatever you want to on your things, splurge, to go do your nails. You don't have to come to me for those things. So now, you know what I'm saying? Like most women don't want to do that because, oh, the man's going to hold all the power. I got to come to him every time I want something. And some men like to have that power.
Sure.
I don't want that power. I'm gonna give you the money. Do not come ask me for money. I'm giving you half my money. Don't come ask me for money. You need to be taking care of that stuff for yourself, though. You get what I'm saying? So
I get what you're saying.
It's the same thing.
I just don't agree because, you know, if you're together with, I don't, because if you're with somebody for 10 years and you're paying into a retirement, she doesn't have a retirement option because she stays at home. She's planning for a future with you. She's planning for a life with you. She's planning for a retirement with you. So if in the end you take that away from her because you no longer want to be with her anymore, she doesn't have any retirement.
No, bullshit, Trish. She's not paying into my retirement. So yeah, if she's with me, she gets to enjoy it. You're absolutely right. But if she divorces me, she doesn't get my fucking retirement, Trish. No, you're wrong. No, she does not.
But so
no,
you're saying
she does not.
You're saying staying at home, taking care of your kids, making sure that there's food on the table, cleaning house, taking care of you. And let's just say she doesn't the reason why she has to do that is because you can't afford daycare or you don't want to pay for daycare. You want your spouse to stay at home because you want to come home to a home cooked meal. So you're saying in that event that you are not willing to give her part of your retirement because, sorry, you got to stay at home with the kids. You got to live that life. Made it possible for you to live that life. So you don't get any of the thing that I paid into retirement. That's what you're saying?
Why would she? No. Okay, now, if she's paying into my retirement, then she gets the retirement.
How could she pay into your retirement?
Because if I'm giving her half my income, she can pay into the retirement if she wants some of the retirement.
Okay.
If she doesn't, she don't get it.
So you're saying you're still married. You're still married together. You're automatically giving her half your paycheck is what you're saying. We're not talking.
Isn't that what I just said?
No, yeah, I asked in divorce. I asked in divorce what you would do.
In divorce, no. Why would I give her, no. Why would I give her in divorce half my money? Why would I do that? So
you wouldn't give her, so if you, I want to make sure I'm understanding here. If your wife stayed at home and cooked, kept house, raised your children, and didn't have any income except for what you gave her monthly, and you separated, you feel like you shouldn't give her anything when you separate at all?
The better question is why do you think she should get retirement money? If I'm giving her half my income of everything that I'm bringing into the house, so she has the same opportunity to put money in a retirement fund as I do. Mm-hmm. And if she doesn't choose to do that, why should she take some of mine? That doesn't make any sense at all.
I see your point. I see your point that you're trying to make. I just don't agree with it.
No, well, because you want a piece of the pie that you had nothing to do with building. That's yeah. Because listen, Trish, if I make $10,000 a month and you're getting $5,000,
yeah,
I'm using my $5,000 to put back into my retirement.
Correct.
And you're not using your $5,000 to put back into your retirement. Your job is the stay-at-home mom. You make $5,000 a month to stay at home. That is your job. This is your money. You take care of your retirement. My job creates $5,000 for me. That money I'm using for my retirement. Mm-hmm. We're on the same playing field here. You do not get a piece of my pie.
I understand completely what you're saying. I don't.
There's no way.
I don't agree with it though. Hold on. Let me explain. Explain.
Hell no.
Let me explain.
Guys, watch out. Watch fucking out.
This is why I don't agree with you. This is why I don't. No. Watch
out.
No, I work.
Yes.
I work. Excuse you. I work. I have my own money. I fucking handle it.
You still want a piece of the retirement.
I handle it. Here's why. Here is why.
Fuck that.
I helped establish him to get to where he was in a career. And this is how I did it. Me!
Who? Okay, but no. You're assuming your situation on everybody else's situation.
No. You just said watch out for her, so I'm explaining myself right now.
No, but see, but how is that? Okay, let's say my relationship. I'm not even saying with Jen. I'm just saying overall. They didn't help me in my career.
That's different. It's different. So like my marriage, we very much started with nothing. Like instead I came with stuff. I came with money. But
you worked.
Yes, I worked. But you also told me that because I had said 50-50. You get half
but you put into it. You paid into his retirement. So you get some of that. But in a situation where you're not paying into someone's retirement, you don't get none of that just because you're married. That's bullshit. No.
I don't agree with it. Just don't agree with it.
No.
I don't agree with it.
Hell no.
Sprinkle says Trish is right. Trish is right.
No, she's not.
When you are getting married to somebody, you are yes, you are. When you're getting married, you're getting with the assumption and the hope that this is the person that you are going to retire with, that you are going to spend the rest of your life with. So you are building, don't you, Darren? What do you do?
You just said it. So in order for you to get a piece of that, then you better stay in the fucking marriage.
So what if no, I don't agree with that at all. You better stay in the marriage.
Then you don't fucking get it.
There are many instances
you can choose when a guy doesn't do it. Let's just say a guy doesn't do anything wrong. A woman, I'm not saying you, any woman, a guy does nothing wrong, doesn't cheat, he's faithful, a good husband, good whatever, good dad. She decides she doesn't want to be in a relationship no more. She gets a divorce. She's entitled to some of that? Fuck no.
I beg to differ.
Fuck no.
I beg to differ.
We can put a poll on this one, and I guarantee you.
Here's the thing: is men. This is how men think. Men's and majority of men, their number one love in life is money. What they contribute, their careers, and how much money they make puts a value on a man every single day. That is how they grade themselves.
So you think it's y'all's job to come take it?
No.
Like, I don't understand that. If you want to be a boss like a man, go make the money.
Women come in and encourage those things out of men. We come in and we build our men up. We take our kids to the doctor's appointments. We make sure our kids are at the school functions. That way you can go do your job. We sacrifice our careers every day.
You guys want to stay at home and be a fucking mom.
I never did.
The majority, since you want to say majority, the majority of women want to stay at home and be a mom. You guys didn't build up shit.
I did. Sorry. I built I built a fucking castle. I built a castle.
If you do not pay into it, you do not get it. Period.
I do not agree. I do not agree.
Stay away, guys. Stay away.
Yeah,
guys.
Stay away.
Jesus fuck,
stay
man.
Away.
Ain't no way. This is why, guys, you get married with a prenuptial agreement. This is 100% wise.
I completely agree. You should get married with a prenup.
If they don't want to do it, you don't marry them. That's it, man. Like, this is why you have to have those things in place to protect yourselves, man. And prenuptials are there not to just protect one person. It protects both parties. See, that's the other like misconception about prenups. People think like, they want prenups because they're greedy. No, it protects both parties.
I completely agree with a prenuptial agreement. Here's the issue I have with your statement. Men, not saying you, just men in general, don't put value on the things that women contribute to their home, whether it's taking care of the kids, feeding them through at least 3 meals a day if they're stay-at-home moms, taking them to their doctor's appointments, arranging their schedules, sports, doing the homework, making sure the snacks are fed, play dates, interacting with other moms so you can encourage that your kid has friends or whatever. And on top of that, they're not asking you, hey, I need you to leave work early to take so-and-so to a doctor's appointment. They're handling that stuff so that you're present in your career, so that you're 110% when you're working and you're only focused on your job and making money. Women do that. Women build empires because we put our men on a pedestal. That's what we do. Period. And he laughs. He laughs.
Oh
you do not value what women contribute.
Oh my
You do not value what women contribute.
You're respectfully, you're talking about your situation, which
No.
was highly unbalanced. Yeah.
There
because
are a ton of women who are stay-at-home moms who feel not valued in what they contribute in their homes.
Listen, so if you're a stay-at-home mom, and so I'm gonna go back to my situation. If I made $10,000 a month, I would give Jenna $5,000. I would give her exactly half of it, and her job is to be at home taking care of that's her job. You get what I'm saying? That is her contribution. That's what she's getting paid for.
Understood.
Okay? My job pays for my $5,000. Her job pays for, and I'm saying this hypothetically, guys.
Sure.
I don't fucking make 10. I wish I did. Okay. If I did, she'd be at home. I guarantee you that. So my thing is this. Like, that's her fucking job. So there is no imbalance here. I'm doing my part. She's doing her part. Like, there is no, hey, I'm going to dip into your retirement and take some of your money because I said I did more. No, you did your job that you got paid for. I'm doing my job, which is providing this situation.
Sure.
Right? And even in that, you're getting half of it. That is your fucking job. There is no, hey, I took them to the doctors. And no, that's your job now. Do you get what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
That's what's discussed in the beginning, obviously, too. Now, that's not to say I'm still going to be me, though. Like, I would still be me. I'm still there. I still do my part with my child because I choose to.
Sure.
Not because Jenna tells me to. No, I choose to.
Okay.
So for me, if I'm giving her $5,000, you better take care of your retirement. That's what it's there for. Now, if we're together, none of this even matters, right? Because we're both on retirement. We're both contributing still until we die, whatever. But in a case of a divorce or something like that, you have what you came into it with. I have what I came into it with. We did not put it together. You did not build it for me. Right?
That's your situation. Yes.
I didn't build it for her, but that's what I'm saying though. Like you're saying I have no appreciation. Like, no, I have appreciation for fairness and equality.
And I do too. I think though, the way that you discuss it is you're so matter of fact that you forget you in this conversation that we're having is you forget to have an emotion behind it. What you're doing is you're making it sound like your wife is an employee versus a partner. That's how it sounds. It sounds like you're employing somebody to do these things for you and you're paying them a salary versus saying, I have a partner in life and we're doing this together. And that is the basis on what I think a lot of issues with relationships has, is that men look at it as a transactional thing and not a love partner. This is who I'm going to go through life with.
It's funny that you say that, though. And meanwhile, you're the one that said you want to take half his retirement. That's what's funny. So, like, you take a man that doesn't look at it as a transactional thing, right? Mm-hmm. So they're with someone who believes the same thing you believe in. He doesn't look at it as transactional. He's in it all heart and all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. They get a divorce, and now she thinks she needs, now who's transactional? So, she thinks she deserves, just because a man, like, I'm not saying it's transactional. I'm not saying it's without heart, but because you say, so I'm just giving you a situation. If a man is in there with all heart, mm-hmm. like you say, it's not transactional. Yeah. But now you're making it transactional when it comes to the divorce. And now you feel like you deserve the retirement. Like, no.
Well, in the end, if you're going with the point that I'm making, in the end, it is transactional because now we're dividing assets. Yeah, because now it's done. It's over. In a relationship, the last thing I would want is for my spouse to go, someone who I'm marrying or being with because I love them and I want to build something with, to
that's
go,
not fair.
I'm going to pay you a salary.
Why do you get to make it transactional? And so now you're saying,
because we're set, now it's over.
The man is, no, if a woman leaves the man, now you're saying it's okay for it to be transactional now. I'm talking about when a man does nothing wrong and then you decide to leave the man and it's okay to be transactional. I think that's malarkey.
So you and I are talking about two separate things. I'm
No.
talking about when, in my mind, as I'm discussing this with you, I'm talking about it as a woman who doesn't want her marriage to end, but it's ending because the man wants to leave. And you're talking about a woman who wants to leave the relationship because she no longer wants to be with the man. So we're talking about it two separate ways.
But that's why you have prenuptial agreements. And
I
I
agree.
can't stress that. I cannot stress that a 1,000% more, because marriages are a two-way street, and somebody may decide they don't want to be in this anymore.
Yeah.
It might blindside you. You might be doing everything right. In order to protect yourself, especially from situations like this, you need to have prenuptial agreements. 1,000%.
I don't agree. I agree with the prenup.
Wow,
I agree with the
crazy.
I agree with the prenup. I agree with the prenup.
You actually don't agree with being fair, because you don't agree with what I just said. If one person decides to leave, right, and fucks the other person, that other person getting fucked shouldn't be protected by a prenup. That's bullshit.
No, I just said I agreed with the prenuptial agreement. I agree with that.
That's all I just said. That's why you have to have a prenuptial agreement to protect.
What I don't agree with is I believe that and I'm talking about a marriage. When I was comparing it, I was talking about a marriage where you build things together. Now, I'm older now. And if I got into a relationship with somebody now, one, I would have a prenuptial agreement. But two, no, I wouldn't think that it would be 50-50, because we've already established who we are. The salary that I make now is nowhere near what I had when I was 22, when I met my ex-husband. When we met each other, we were children building together. So in the end, after our 12 years, I thought, 50-50. And he thought it too in the end also.
Let me ask you this. You come into a relationship, you're already making $150K. Mm-hmm. That's good money.
Yeah.
The guy you're married to came into he's worth millions.
Mm-hmm.
You guys get a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
You don't pay into none of his retirement. You don't have anything to do with any of his investments. You did not help build anything.
Sure.
You're just in the relationship, which is fine, right? You help build a marriage. You build a family.
Yeah. Sure.
What then?
I would leave with nothing.
No. You would leave with nothing.
I would leave with whatever was mine.
Isn't that what I just said? Like, that's what I said.
Different.
Unless you pay into something, you do not get it. And you said you don't agree. Unless you contribute, you do not get it. And you just said in a situation where you didn't contribute that you don't feel like you deserve any of his millions. So why is it any different? Why do you get retirement?
Because he had that already. He had that.
No, I wasn't talking about, like, when I was saying about me, you said you don't agree. I said she's not going to get my retirement if we divorce. Because she has not paid into it. And you said you don't agree.
What I don't agree with is what I don't agree with is the mom who stays at home that's not entitled to it. I don't agree with that. I just don't. I understand that you're giving her a salary and that she can put her money into a retirement if she chooses to. I understand that completely. I do.
Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's fair if a man gives half his salary to his wife, who doesn't have to work and slave in a job and does not pay into their retirement? Hold on, no, okay.
Yeah, let's reword that one.
You think? Yeah, no. I mean, you think she deserves the retirement? So let's reverse it. I'm a man. She's a stay-at-home mom. I get half of her salary per month. I just splurge my money. I buy whatever I want to. I take care of the kid, though. Mm-hmm. But I pay the bills, and I don't take care of my future. I don't do none of that shit. Mm-hmm. I decide I want to get out. I'm not happy anymore. Mm-hmm. But because I was a stay-at-home dad for 15 years, and she worked a really good office job and got really good benefits, I should get half of her retirement.
Yes.
That's crazy. No.
Yes, no. Absolutely.
And I'm not biased, and I just reversed the role, right? Let's say if it was me, and I did not responsibly put any money into her retirement or my own, I am not entitled to shit.
I do not agree with that.
Okay.
I don't.
It
Women,
doesn't make sense.
there are many women that I know that went to college, who are college educated women, and some that are not, that completely decided not to do a career decision that they made with their spouse because especially the husbands were like, I want you to stay at home with the kids. I want you to raise our kids. Of course, a mom is going to say, yes, I want to stay home with my kids so I can help raise them. I'm not talking about the moms that don't contribute to their kids' lives. I'm talking about good moms, which there's a lot of good moms that contribute to their kids' life positively. And they're doing this with the outlook that their family is going to stay together, that is going to be one unit until they retire.
Why are you talking like the
50,
man
50.
is like you're talking like the man is completely like not there as a father like that? Why are we assuming that?
I'm not
so
saying
what about
that.
He's taking him to the park. He's there.
Great.
He's like what? Like he's taking him
Like
to
a dad.
school.
Like
He's
a dad.
feeding- So why do you deserve more for doing the same job? You don't.
Oh my gosh.
You don't.
This is one thing that you and I will not agree on because
Right.
no,
100%.
because women who stay at home, that is a job. It is a job to stay
Isn't
at home.
that what I've been saying? And that's why she gets half the money. So
Yes.
at that point, she needs to be putting into retirement. Why is that? What am I the only one here? Is anybody not agreeing with me? I don't know. I'm not reading the chat. That doesn't make sense. She's getting, so you're saying the guy should be doing more. He's already doing more.
No.
He's already doing more. He's working.
No.
He's working and providing the money. She's getting half of it. I'm saying in my situation. I know.
Sure.
Now, you're talking about, I agree with you. Here's where I agree with Trish. If the woman has to go through the man for all the money, so the man is working, he's paying all the bill, he's buying all the cars, he's paying for the groceries. Every time the woman wants something, she's got to go through him. She has nothing of her own, like money-wise.
Sure.
She deserves everything. Okay, so I will say that because she's not getting half. That's not fair to her.
Sure.
She's doing a job and she needs to be compensated for it. So if she's not getting her own cut, then she deserves everything at the divorce. But if she's getting half, she doesn't get more than that, Trish. That's completely unfair.
I don't agree with that.
Because why do you disagree? Why do you disagree with fairness? You think women deserve more.
No, I think they deserve
Yes, you do.
50-50.
That's crazy.
50,
She did
50.
get 50-50, Trish. She did get 50-50.
Of your salary.
She should be. What do you think people do? What do you think you're doing with your salary? When you get paid, Trish, you're putting money into retirement. That's your responsibility. If you don't do that, if you don't put money into your retirement from your income, you don't get anything.
So let me tell you
So if
this.
she doesn't do that, she's not going to have retirement.
Everything you're saying, I completely agree. I
But
agree.
You don't. But you don't agree.
I completely agree, and I understand with what you're saying. I still think at the end of the line, at the end of
everything, she deserves more.
No,
that's what you're saying.
Everything
that's
is
exactly what
split
you're saying.
50-50. Everything. Everything.
Listen, here's the other problem. In most situations, right, when you get married, you've already started a job. You've already started your mutual funds, your retirements, your 403s, 401s, whatever.
Yeah.
Same thing for me. I had already started a 403, right? It's already been established before I even met Jenna.
I see what you're thinking here.
She's not touching that.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
That is what you said.
No.
Retirement. We're talking about retirement. You can't assume.
That's not what I said.
Most people don't get to. When people get together, they've already established jobs or careers by the time they get married.
In our age, yes.
They've already done it. So they've already been paying into the retirements. This has nothing to do with the person that has just joined into the relationship.
Correct.
They don't get that money.
Correct. I agree with you there. So like you and Jenna, let's just say you had, you met Jenna in your 30s and you had a retirement that you've had since you were 20 years old. Let's say that. Do I think that Jenna is entitled to your 20-year retirement that you already have established? No, I do not. I do not believe that she has any right to that whatsoever. I agree with you there.
But wasn't that the same situation for you? Like
No.
so I want to make sure me and her having a debate. No,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
mad at her.
Oh, yeah, we're
I
just
don't
debating.
care.
We're just debating.
It doesn't matter to me what side of the fence she stands on this, like at all.
None.
But we are just debating. I got tons of respect for Trish, but this is a great conversation. But in your situation, wasn't it the same thing? He brought his own money into it.
No, I brought money.
Okay, no. You just said.
I met my ex-husband. I was 22 years old. He was 27. He got out of prison when he was 24, and then he did
He had nothing.
And he did 3 years of college, and then was done at 27 years old. So when I met him, he had zero assets except for a car. Zero. I had furniture. I had money. I had my own car. And so when we went to go get our first apartment together, I put the deposit down. I brought over my furniture, and I had already had a retirement because I had been working since I was 16 years old.
Okay, so now I see where she's coming from about building an empire. So when she says something like that, I think about my situation, and no woman that I've ever been with helped me build anything that I have done. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So when I'm equating that like that, no. You don't have entitlement just because of a piece of paper.
Correct.
But you also said, when I said that in a situation where the husband is giving the wife that's staying home half the monthly income and they divorce, you said she still deserves retirement.
So in my mind, I was already thinking of, you started together, you've built a family together, and then you're doing that together. So that's what I was thinking. I'm not thinking of you're in your 40s, you already have things established, you marry some, hot little thing, she spits out a couple of kids, you've been married for 5 years, and that's not what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of two people who start together, who are building something together. That's what I mean, building it together.
We'll go to the first marriage though. So football has always been my career. Mm-hmm. I got to play professionally, which all these things led to me doing it as a career. Mm-hmm. I met her when I was 13. We ended up getting married late 20s, but I had already been working my job for, let's just say fucking 3 years. Mm-hmm. But I'm paying into my retirement.
Yeah.
Now she's there for the majority of my duration during my career. Mm-hmm. We get a divorce, she still doesn't get none of that because she didn't pay for none of it.
I agree.
Okay, because I feel like I said that and you said you don't agree. You literally said you don't agree.
So you and I do this a lot, which is why I like having conversations with you. It's the conversation we're having and the conversation that we think we're having. So I was thinking of two people that were growing together, building something together. And I thought that I emphasized that remark. So if you if I meet somebody now and I get into a relationship with somebody now and I already have my salary, I already have my retirement, I have my savings, I have my stocks, all of that. And I meet somebody and they're like, I'm getting a prenup, but the first thing I would note in my mind is, this is what I had at this time. So I knew where I was at. So in the end, if it didn't work out, we're together for 10 years, we get a divorce, whatever it is, I knew where my starting point was. So I can say, at this point, we accumulated 200 grand towards each other, 100,000 is yours, period. There you go. That's what I would do, because in my mind, I'm thinking I'm not going to be stingy with it. No, we lived a life together. We lived a good life together. We tried to build something together and it didn't work. Here you go. This is your part of it.
So even with your situation, I see you made the comment about I don't know if you said a lot. There's been a lot of situations where women have built up. And then you also said that I don't show appreciation for a women help. There's not a friend that I have, nor a situation in my life that has happened where a woman, okay, and this is no disrespect,
sure,
because I'm not saying that I helped a woman build anything. I'm not saying that either. We're talking about finances here, but there's not a friend that I have or in my situation where the woman has built their career.
That makes me sad.
I would say that this doesn't happen most of the time. where the woman builds up the man's career. Or vice versa. I'm not
Sure.
saying the man builds up the woman. I don't know a situation where a man in my friend pool where the man has built up a woman either. So
that makes me sad.
I would say my side was probably the majority, though. Like, there's not very many situations. There isn't. It's not a majority, Trish, where
no, I wouldn't say it's a majority.
Building up.
But I know a lot of women who do that for men, and I have a different perspective on it because I talk to women about that.
Who do that for men? Like, what are we talking about?
So, for instance, like I said, my friends who are college educated could go out and have a career, had every intention of having a career, and the husband's outlook was, no, I want you to stay at home. I want you to be with the kids. So they sacrifice their career. They sacrifice what they want to do in their lives so that they can make sure that they're being supportive of their spouse's life.
Hold on. So let me just clarify this.
Sure.
I'm not saying every time. The majority of time, that's not the man wanting the woman to stay home with the kids. It's the woman wanting to stay at home with the kids.
Maybe.
The majority is the woman. So just because a woman stays home with the kids is not her contributing to building an empire. She's not allowing me or another man to pursue his career because she's staying home. She wants to stay home. Not the other. She's not sacrificing. Yeah, it is the majority.
Wait. Finish that sentence. She's not sacrificing?
She's not sacrificing herself and her career to allow the man to pursue his. That's not what's happening. Majority of the time, the woman wants to stay at home with the children. They don't want to work, Trish. That's the majority, for sure.
I honestly would love to do a poll question on that. So if you are a stay-at-home mom and you are in this live or in this TikTok and you would like to work, let me know. I would love to see the show of hands of women that actually want to work. Come on. Yeah, it's not going to be the majority is what I'm saying. It's not. If they have a choice between staying at home, yeah, you do, but that's a small majority. That's a small population. That's not the majority. I don't even need statistics for that one. Like, that is a fact. Okay, that's fine. But I also would like to know in their instance, if they're stay-at-home moms, do they feel like they're entitled?
Riz doesn't want to work.
I know Riz doesn't want to work.
Does Coy doesn't. That's two right there. I'm 100% so far.
There's a bunch, and I want to work. Yes, I gave up years. I'm a stay-at-home mom. Definitely nope. As a woman, he's not wrong. So it goes, I would say it's like 30-70 right now.
That's
it's like
the majority.
Definitely
70%
work
is majority.
is what I got. Yeah.
They're not doing that so like the man can pursue a career. Like that's not why they're doing it. You did it.
I was going to say, I literally did it. Yeah.
You did it. And I'm not saying that never happens.
Yeah.
I'm sure it happens both ways. I'm sure it happens both ways. So I'll give you another example.
Yeah,
so
let's hear it.
You know, so like even in our other marriage, even in my past marriage, I 100% helped build the business.
Okay.
And the business started. So I'm gonna show you how true to form I am. True to form. Exactly what I say.
Tell me.
We built this business and it was very lucrative. Okay. Very lucrative. It was very successful for like 10 years. We started the business after we got married, 3 years after. And it took both of us. I handled all the finances. I was the accountant. She was the talent. She did all the photography, the editing, but I also helped with the editing. I did the culling. I did picture taking. I was the second photographer when she couldn't get one. I was 100% in there and I did all finances, sales tax, use tax, income, LLC, establishing, IEN. I did it all.
Yeah.
We 100% built this thing together. When it came time, my lawyer asked me, he said, hey, you have 50% of this. This is yours.
Yeah.
Your call. I'm like, no, it's her face.
Yeah.
It's hers. I didn't take it.
Yeah.
I could have took it. And you know who was in control of the prenup and all the legalities? I was, because of the prenuptial agreement. So I could have took 50 of that if I wanted to, and she couldn't do shit. But I still didn't take it because you know why? At the end of the day, I don't deserve it. I don't.
So you know how I told you I was married? I've been married twice. So my first marriage was for 3 years. And then my second marriage, we were together married for 10, together for 12. So my first marriage, when I had left and we didn't have any children together, thank God, I actually left him with everything. I left everything. So I had my own account, and then we had a joint account. And then in our joint account, we had 2 CDs, which were money from my trust fund that were in both of our names because I was an idiot. And when I left, I just left him. I just left the 2 CDs for him. I didn't fight it. I didn't do anything legal. I just 100% wanted to be out of that relationship and everything. I bought his car for him before we had gotten married, like all of it. We were engaged. I'm not that crazy. But like I left because he had money too. Like he had money that he gotten from his parents, and then he had property because his family was a very well-known property. There was stuff that I could have said, nope, I'm entitled to that. I just didn't. I didn't because we didn't have any kids, and we were both doing our own thing. I was working and he was working and going to school. And so I didn't feel like we built anything together. I felt like we were just 2 people coasting through life together, making money. It was very different when I was married to my last husband, is because we were building something together from the start. I mean, this man literally didn't even know how to like use online banking. Like I had to teach him everything because yes, he was 27 years old, but he had been, his life was on hold for a while. So I had to teach him how to be an adult. And I very much feel like who he is today is because I helped him get there. In no way do I think I'm responsible for it. No, but do I think that I sacrificed my own career and the things that I wanted to do in my life to make sure that he was as successful as he is today? Absolutely. And I would do it again. I would do it again if the outcome was exactly the same, because that's who I was in the relationship. That's who I was in the marriage. I wanted to support my husband 150%. And I did that. So at the end of the road, when things were done and we ended, you bet your damn fucking ass everything was 50-50. You bet it was 50-50.
And I said I agreed with your situation, mainly because you paid into his retirement. Okay. That's what I agree with. But like I said, if you're not, if any relationship where you're not, any relationship where one person is not contributing to the other side, you don't get it. And I don't care like who, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking in general. Like that person does not get it, in all fairness. And if you try to put your grimy hands on it, you're selfish. Because even in my situation where I had all rights to the business, I didn't fucking want it. At the end of the day, it's her fate. Like she's doing all the talent. Like fucking go. Like I'm not about the grimy stuff. Like even though I fought, she couldn't have done it without me. She couldn't have. So, but I still didn't take it though. Like it's not mine. Like I'm not interested in fucking taking something that's not mine.
And like I know you, and I know, God forbid something happens and you and Jenna separate for whatever reason, you have a child with Jenna, and I know that would be completely different. I know that the stability of your child's life would be the utmost important thing to you, and I know that you would make sure that your son was taken care of, and in turn absolutely. That means Jenna.
Yeah, and it bleeds to all kinds of stuff. Like we literally just had this conversation about his future. So, on one hand, I'm like, okay, he's got to perform in school. He's got to work hard to get a scholarship.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that can happen. Like if he doesn't put forth effort, he's just not going to get handouts from fucking daddy. Like she thinks a little bit different than I do, but I've been around kids my whole life. Sometimes they put forth a lot of effort and some don't give a fuck. You get what I'm saying? So it just depends on how that pans out. But I also understand that we need to start building towards the future. So we had a conversation about like, okay, what about like IRAs and then his future college fund and all that stuff. And I was like, listen, I would think it's important for us to put money together for his college. As far as his retirement, That's his responsibility when he fucking becomes an older adult, right?
Yeah.
But she is interested in building up an IRA. It's smart. All of it's smart. If you could do it financially, do it. And I said, look, I can't do that financially. And she said, you know what? You're right. Okay, fine. I will do that. And then I said, this is what I could contribute towards his education. So it ended up being, she's going to focus on that and I'm going to focus on the education part. Yeah. So my thing about the education is, like, if he gets old enough and is fortunate enough to get a scholarship, which I hope he does, right? I don't care what it is. Like, we know how to get them. We're going to try to get them. But that, like, now that money can go into his IRA after that, if she still wanted to do it, or it could be a down payment for his house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things, or you could buy him a car, something that's needed at the time. But like, so even like when it comes to his future, like, we had to figure out a 50-50 equal situation where we could both come together on that. And that was kind of where we ended up. So I'm going to be on the education standpoint. She's going to be on his IRA. So, you know.
And these are conversations that you need to be having with your spouse or the father of your children, the mother of your children. Like, I had these conversations while we were still married, and we obviously have them afterwards. And we're very much like you, where we contribute to his college education. I don't know if my son wants to go to college, but I'm contributing to something like he is going to go. And I'm not going to tell my child, like, your college is taken care of. No, I'm going to make my child fill out the forms. I'm going to make him get financial aid. I'm going to make him do all of those things. And if he graduates and he does what he's supposed to, that's his graduation present. Your college is actually paid for. Here you go. Good fucking job. You know what I mean? And that's how we're going to do it, because I don't want him to think that it's a free ride for him to go fuck off. Like, I want him to do what he's supposed to do. But that's, like, we have these conversations. Money is, like, weird in relationships, I think, where, like kind of what House was saying, that women or men feel entitled to something, or people spend it frivolously and they just don't build anything for a future. Or it is so important to have these conversations so that you're making sure that you're saving, that you're making sure that your kids are taken care of, and in the end, you're protecting yourself in the event if the relationship doesn't work. So you should be having these conversations about money.
Gotta have a fucking prenup.
Yeah, I do agree with that. You have to have a prenup.
You fucking have to. You gotta fucking protect yourself, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So there was so many things we were gonna talk about today. We were gonna talk about love languages, and then I kind of wanted to talk about your whole thing. I know. Your whole thing about your ex-wife, how she would, like, spend money because her mom would buy her thing, or her grandmother would buy her things. I kind of wanted to hit on that too, because I'm very guilty of that, and I wanted to go in. I wanted to explain
to love languages. So did that transfer over for you too as well? Like,
my mom. So my mom was 15 when she got pregnant with me, 16 when she had me. So my mom was very much a child, underdeveloped, like, mentally, and so she did not have that, oh my God, this is my baby, I love you so much, kisses. Like, my mom was not affectionate at all. The way that my mom was affectionate is she would buy me things. That's how she showed her love. And that is 1,000% how I show my love to people. When I care about somebody or I love somebody, I do it through food and I do it through money. And it's I buy them things or I take trips to see them or whatever, because that's my way of showing people that I care about them. Now, I'm lucky. I'm fortunate enough to be able to do stuff like that. But it's gotten me taken advantage of many times. Many times.
What about your love language, though?
How I like to receive it?
Yeah.
Oh.
You like gifts? Is that your tops?
No.
What?
Affection. Reassurance. So words. Affirmation. And I don't want to assume that you like me. I want you to tell me you like me. I don't want to assume that you're falling in love with me. I want you to tell me you're falling in love with me. And so I would say affirmations and affection are my love languages 100%. I would have taken that over gift giving any day.
Gotcha.
So we'll talk about that. We'll be on next Friday. We were a little late today, so next Friday is going to be at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to be talking about the different types of love languages, because I really, really wanted to hit on that. And then we have some DMs that we got that we didn't get to, so we'll answer those next week. If you have a DM of a dating situation that you've been in, or you need some advice, shoot us over a DM, and we'll go ahead and ask them live on the air.
It was fun.
Oh my God.
I thought it was a good one. I thought it was
You know
good.
what's so funny is House and I don't hate each other. We are actually really good friends. We just get very like passionate in the conversation.
But that's the point though. Like if you can't, you should do a podcast if you can't have these type of conversations.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like it's like, that's just the bottom line. I mean,
it's all in love. It's all, and we appreciate, and we understand. We're listening to understand versus listening to be combative. And so that's why we do these things, to give different perspectives. So thank you. You're probably going to be exhausted going into your next stream.
Well, I'd love to see like some of the responses in the comments and see kind of what they were saying as that thing was unfolding.
Yeah.
But we'll have to go back and look at the VOD maybe.
I love House, whether I agree with him or not, is one of the one of the comments I got.
Stay away from that one, guys. Don't fucking go nowhere near that one. Fuck, bro. Stay away from that one.
Thank you so much, House, for being here.
See you guys.
Bye.
Peace.